name is Dr. Susan Bostian, and I am from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, a wonderful town here in the Lehigh Valley. Many ask how I got involved in the health and wellness industry, integrative, alternative medicine, if you want to call it. And basically, I have my own journey. I got very sick, and I was told I had Hashimoto's. I was told I had Graves' disease, liver enzyme issues. I have had, 19 surgeries over the course of my short/long life. And it was one of those aha moments where I ran into a friend I graduated high school with, and he said, you need to balance your body chemistry, and you need to go back to school. And he goes, if you go back to school and get into integrative holistic health, I'll hire you. I'm like, okay, fine. But it was that aha moment of being sick, and the traditional medical model was failing me. And I was the mother of 4, and it was just, I had to make a change. So I made a change, and I left the medical model. I went back to school. I learned everything. I'm still in school today. And basically, in all essential purposes, I know I'm not allowed to say I healed myself or cured myself, but I did. And learning what I have done, I now use all of that information to help everybody that I come across. So it was a personal journey, and I had to make changes, and this is the path I chose, and it has done me very well ever since, because everything I was diagnosed with, I don't have anymore. So we're good. So many ask how I discovered NES Quantum Wellness and bioenergetic medicine. And it was truly, I think, a fate where energy puts you in front of people that you're supposed to be in touch with. So I was going through a tough time in my life, and we had gone through that very expensive DNA test for cancer screening and health issues. And I had this 93-page genetic study in front of me detailing my life. And at the same time, I'd met a gentleman at the time from San Jose, California. And he goes, I need you to try this new system we have. I'm going to send you a scanner. I'm going to send you a link to the website, and I just want to demo something for you. I said, okay, fine. He goes, I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just going to ask you to follow directions, and then we'll have a phone call, because he was from California and I'm from Pennsylvania, so we're 3,000 miles apart. So I do this scan thing, and I'm sitting at my dining room table because I need a half an hour of your time, and I'm like, okay, fine. Now, he didn't know that I had this $8,000 genetic study sitting next to me on my counter that I'm reading through, memorizing because of my liver issues and everything else. And he does the scan, and I call him on the phone, and he starts going over the scan, and I start he starts screen sharing, because back then we were screen sharing. It's a lot different than what everybody sees today in the NES portal. And we're going through things, and I'm looking at the results, and I'm now going way ahead of what he's talking me, because I speed read, and I'm going through this. I'm like, wait a second, this is coming up, and this is coming up. And I said, I gotta stop you. I said, hang on for a second. I said, you don't know this. I said, but I have a 93-page genetic study sitting right in front of me on me. And this scan that I did this little mousy thing with, and that's what I called it back then, is identical to a 93-page document here that I paid a lot of money for. And then we started to talk. And that was it. I was sold at that moment, because my scan was an exact match to something I had just paid a lot of money for, to learn about my genetics and where I needed to go health-wise, and the path that I was going to take moving forward. And it was incredible. I was sold that day. The technology, the information, the parallels to health and wellness, to my body, and even to the emotional standpoint that I was going through. And from that point, I vowed to learn everything I could about NES. I learned, I was back then you were in San Jose. I was going to this training seminars, the master classes. I was learning from other practitioners, and I scan everyone who walks into my office. It is a vital part of their program, their plan, and any goals that they want to have moving forward. When working with animals such as we do, cats are wonderful. They might scratch you. Dogs, most of them, if you know how to talk to dogs, you're good. They won't bite you. Horses are a whole different breed. And it's funny when the comment I get is, how do you go to work every day and avoid getting kicked by an 1,800-pound thoroughbred racehorse? And it's actually very easy. Learn how to talk to a horse. Horses are phenomenal. They're beautiful. They are graceful. They are funny. They are stubborn. Put in every adjective. But working with horses, I love it. I joke a lot with the owners, and our joke is we'd rather have horses than people some days because they're so happy, and they love to see you. And we get injured racehorses, and the deal is our job is to repair them. Either can we get them back on the track, or can we get them, will they become a dressage horse? Will they eventually become gelded, become a lesson horse, or do we put them out for stud? That's what we do at the farm. And the funny thing is now is they rehab horses. There's a rehab swimming pool. Yes, a swimming pool for rehab. It's amazing the therapies that we can use with the horses after we scan them and know what's going on. So I'm going to give you an example of how I earned my keep, so to speak, with all of the owners. So we had a horse came in, beautiful, amazing horse out in the field, and he's running around like just bucking, running, and I'm looking right at him, and I said to the owner, rear hip issue. Like, they told me that it was his left front knee ankle. And I said, no, not even close. Well, that's what the vet said. They want to do an ultrasound on the left front knee and ankle. That's where they think he got injured coming out of the gate. They showed me a video of the race. I'm like, that's not where he's hurt. I said, I'll tell you what, you let me scan this horse. I'll tell you exactly what's wrong with him. And I can do that. I'll explain how I use the scanning screens. And the energy, the ER screen is the most valuable screen on the planet when we work with horses. And I said, let me scan the horse, get me in the field. So the owner's like, okay. So they, put the little bridle thing on the horsey, whatever you want to call it. We make up names for all of the horse accoutrements now. So I walk in, the horse comes right up to me because I cheat. I always keep peppermint in my pockets. Warning. He's like, that horse came right up to you. I'm like, I know, it's a trick. Came right up to me, what are you doing? I scanned the horse in less than 30 seconds. It was easy. And as soon as the scan came up, I knew exactly. If you looked at the ER screen and the recommendation page, it came up exactly with what I thought was wrong with the horse. And it was the entire right rear hip issue. I explained the muscle field. I explained the readings on the scan. It's not allowed to diagnose, but we look for patterns of performance and patterns of energy over time. And I said, look, just do me a favor. Tell the vet to concentrate on the rear hip. Tell her to ignore the front leg. Didn't even come up in the scan. Nothing, knee, ankle came up. Not even toes came up on the horse. Said, just take a look. I screenshotted the scan for the vet. I said, here's where it is. Here's where the ER and even all the meridian points. So the vet decided to follow my advice and ultrasound the horse. Sure enough, we found a tear exactly where the scan said to look. And it was phenomenal. And that point right then and there, the vet was sold, the owners were sold. Like, you are scanning every single horse now before the vet looks at the horse. Every horse. So now I'm usually the first one called in. We scan, we look at the scan, we look at all of the patterns, we look at all of the screens, and then from there we work with the vet, and then we develop a protocol for treating the horse. My number one tip for practitioners is not to be afraid. I think there is so much that the scan offers. When people see that for the first time, they may be overwhelmed or like they're not sure what to do with all of this information, but you cannot fear that scope of information that is presented to us. I think we have to basically accept it and then look at for what it is truly telling us and honor that information and use that for the benefit of our clients, whether they're animal clients or human clients, or in some cases, we need the human information to help the animals or need the animal information to help the humans. And sometimes I think if a dog comes in and I'm scanning the dog, I should scan the owner too, because it goes together like a very nice package. But don't be afraid of what that information can lead you to. It is an honor to understand that information, and I think it's our right to be able to use that to help our clients be in a better place. And that's my number one tip. Don't ever be afraid of it. And learn as much as you can. Talk to other practitioners and scan, and look at the scans. Look for patterns. I've been scanning so many people and animals over the time. I'm to the point now where I can look at a recommendation page and I already know the patterns because I've seen it a million times before. And it's a phenomenal learning tool as well, to be able to share that with your clients and give them tips or strategies to make tomorrow a better day or a healthier day for them. So don't be afraid. I think that's the number one tip I can give everybody, is just go out and scan. Go out and scan, and don't be afraid of what you find. I was once, basically, someone was trying to slam me in a local newspaper and called me a crazy magic potion lady, which I thought was funny. So me, being the person that I am, I turned it into an advertising campaign and had t-shirts made that said hashtag crazy magic potion lady with my logo on it. I figured if you're going, I'm going to run with it, because I thought it was a phenomenal PR tool. But I think for some people, they were afraid of that, I'm going to say backlash, or for the naysayers, or for the people who don't understand vibrational theory and don't understand vibrational technology. Of every rock, it's phenomenal, and you can go in and take a rock measure and tell you, oh, it came from the southern quadrant of latitude negative 72, 44, it came from Canada, wherever. So my thing is, if they can measure rocks, imagine, yes, there's a device that can measure cellular energy and vibrational frequency of all the cells of the human body. Imagine being able to capture that information and translate that into information we can use to make you a happier, healthier person. So that technology is out there, just people don't understand it. And therefore, because they don't understand it, they think it doesn't exist. So I kind of relate it to technology that literally is less than 7 miles from my house, to look, this is available for everybody. Every cell moves in your body, every cell vibrates. Therefore, we can measure that vibrational energy, and we can use that measurement and that tool to literally help you be have a better day tomorrow. Wouldn't you love to have a better day tomorrow? So that's how I explain what we do in a very simplistic way for people who go, you're a crazy magic potion lady. I'm like, yes, I am.